Hello everybody, Flik here. It's been a long time since I've done any kind of unboxing videos, so what a good one to come back to now that I've not set up a proper area for doing these. Also apologies if I'm sounding a little bit echoey. It's kind of a test of whether or not I can do these in the future inside my kitchen, because I'm kind of starved for space. On the plus side, you do get to see a certain cameo from a dog every so often. I'm very curious how she's going to take to me doing this. Oh, she jumped up on the table there, but out of sight. Anyway, we're here today take a look at two expansions to the Dark Souls board game that I got when I backed the original Kickstarter. They haven't set out the Kickstarter pledge goals yet, which I think are meant to be like by the end of this year. Although a certain dog's nose. No, you can't be there. I'm doing an unboxing. So anyway, we're going to start with the Darkroot expansion. And at the same time, because I really wanted a big, nice looking model to paint, I got the Gaping Dragon expansion, which we'll look at in a second. So yeah, as I was saying, the Kickstarter pledge goals are not out yet, but phase 2 is, which is this expansion and a bunch of the other boss expansions, including Gaping Dragon. Now, the thing I'm most looking forward to is the Artorias and Sif models. We have ourselves a booklet. Is this just additional rules or additional scenarios? Looks like it's background information, overview of what you get, expansion treasure, using the wolf, using Artorias, and some campaigns. Can you hear that? That's the dog taking a drink of water in the background. So we have that. We have Sif and Artorias' boss wheels, right there. You can probably get a little bit closer to see the pictures of them there. We have their AI deck, or decks I guess, with the mushroom on the back. Yep, there's one of Artorias' there. I'd rather not open these immediately because they'll go all over the place, so it's a thick deck. And then we have the encounter cards, and probably treasure cards as well. Wild Glades there. Again, a big thick deck, or so the ladies tell me anyway. And then that is just the clips for the boss wheels. Now the important part though, is the models themselves. The Sif one is gigantic. Let me just close that. The noise will be scaring the dog, no doubt. Now, remember rightly from the base game, this is sellotaped, isn't it? 1 second. Ah, maybe it's not. No, it totally is. Where are my trusty scissors? Here are my trusty scissors. Do you not like the noise, Sora? Yeah, one side and 2 sides. Done. I think. Yes, good. Okay. Take the lid off. A little loud. Alright, let's see. Here's the set as a whole. There's a little babby mushroom that looks slightly lewd, which is going to be very hard to, there we are, get in focus. Then we have the very angry punchy parent. Only one? Yeah, only one. Then we have 3 of the hedge clipper guys from the DLC. I don't remember if they're in the base game at all. The ones with the secateurs. I'm pretty sure that's DLC only, but I might be misremembering. So you get 3 of them. And, oh yeah, they totally are just from the DLC, because the other models are too. There's the pitchfork ones, of which you get 3. Here we are, in focus. And these are used for the standard encounters. The enemies I always run past when I do the DLC, the big golem thingies. 2 with axes, and then 2 with sword and board. Sword and board. Pretty hefty size as well. They're about the same size, or maybe even slightly bigger than Ornstein. And speaking of lanky, we've got 2 lanky trees. Yeah, good detail on those. The heads look like they've exploded. And then finally, the big 2. Alright, I had heard from a stream regular, Evil Vice President, that bendy swords was a bit of an issue with these. And I agree. You see the curve on Artorias' sword there? His sword is not supposed to be a curved sword. That is not straight. And that's due to the manner in which it was packed, I think. Model itself is very similar to the Dancer of the Boreal Valley, I would say, in terms of quality, size, not quite as big, but more detailed. Other than the bendy sword, which is a disappointment. I mean, the sword itself has good detail as well. But yeah, it's very disappointing. Very clearly a bendy sword. It's not going to break, but you'd probably have to pin it, which is a 40k thing, if you wanted it to be exactly straight. Ooh, as the box almost falls. And then finally, the biggest model. Wow, really heavy too. Also a slightly bendy sword. Man, maybe Arturus' sword does just have a curve on it, and I'm misremembering. Let's compare. Because that's two versions of the same sword, right? This one very clearly has a curve, whereas this one has a bend. And they both kind of swoop downwards. The Sif, that is an impressive model. That is a hunk of plastic. I'm trying to think of a 40k comparison, but honestly not sure, because there's no Space Wolf model that's this big. Yeah, that is a good model. That's good as just a statue, honestly. Again, I don't think the sword should be bending. Maybe I'm misremembering in terms of it having a curve, but a curve and a bend is not necessarily the same thing depending on which direction they go. Model itself though, very nice. And you can have them together. Like that. So that's what you get in the Darkroot Basin expansion. There was Darkroot themed base tiles, however they were a separate purchase, which I didn't particularly want, so I don't have those available. We'll just move that box for a second, and then we'll take a look at Mr. Gaping Dragon. This is a bigger box because it does come with base tiles, I believe. Yeah, it does. That's a nice picture. Gaping Dragon. So there's a bunch of different boss expansions. It's just, I really like the look of the model for this one, so that's why I picked this one. So it's just, again, going over a background, how to fight the boss, and then probably at the very back some scenarios. Pardon me. Oh yeah, it's a mega boss, that's right, so it's even bigger than a normal boss. Yeah, and some encounters at the back. So we've got 1, 2, 3... Oh, they're actually all attached. It's interesting. I think they probably do come apart, but they are attached into one big, what are they called again? The catacombs? No, the depths. Boss encounter, etc. So that's 4 or 5 tiles, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, you have to assemble it? Didn't realise that. Alright, much like the other one, we've got boss health. You put that together when you use those to clip it together so you can spin it as it loses health. Presumably that's to do with the boss fighting mechanics for poison or something. We've got the Gaping Dragon's AI deck. Devouring Maw is the front card. Obviously not nearly as thick because it's just a single model. What's this? That'll be the equipment cards and small encounters maybe. Dragon King Grey Axe. Chopping off the tail? Is that how you get that one? Again, that's the things for putting the boss dial together. Oof. Yeah, this is weighty. This is gigantic. Ooh, please don't fall off my table. This is bigger than a Horospex, a Tyrannid model from 40k. It might even be on par with a Tyrannifex, which I almost mispronounced. Oh, perhaps did. One side off. Other side. Get in there. There we go. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, they've got 4 bits of sellotape on this one. How dare you? There we go. So some assembly required. Look at that absolute unit of a base. Yeah, maybe it's a bit on par with the Horospex actually. So is it a plug and play type situation? It does look like it's going to slot in nicely. I'm curious why there's no details of how to put it together, but presumably it's in the booklet. So we've got 2 arm wings. We've got 2 little wings as well. The tail, which you can cut off for the axe, or something similar if I forget. And then the 2 proper hands. I'll see if I can put it together. I'll do a quick cut to show you, but assuming not, there is the absolute unit of the body, the gaping vagina mouth itself, the little face up there somewhere. That is a big model. Wow. Oh, and one last cameo from Sora too. Like the model? Gaping Dragon? Yeah, okay, she likes the Gaping Dragon. Great, okay. Well, let's see if I can put this together real quick. Alright, a rough 10 minutes later trying to get this thing together, and it is not very well made in that regard, sadly. This is 99% complete. I couldn't get the second larger lower wing in correctly. And you might be able to see if I can get that in focus. It's not for lack of trying, but the plastic is now strained and warped a little bit because it will not fit into the hole provided, which is way hidden under. It's hidden in right there. You can't get any leverage to force it in. Even if you were to super glue it, it would be out of place rather awkwardly. A bit like how the tail is here. You can kind of see the gap there, which is pretty unacceptable. And I really honestly tried to force that tail in. It might be a little bit off center. The hands on this side are all in the correct position. And there's still very obvious gaps there for the hand. These are incredibly flimsy. And that's, again, not for lack of trying to get them in forcefully. So, honestly, very disappointed. Not disappointed that assembly is required. Disappointed that there is no instruction. I checked the booklet. There's nothing. This is just about how to use it in the game. And that the manner in which you put it together is not thought out, not secure, and the plastic is warped. So I don't think I can put it together. And believe me, again, not for lack of trying, lost a fingernail in the process too. Gaping Dragon, nice looking model, very disappointing though. Darkroot base and stuff other than the bent swords, no complaints there. So that's going to do it. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Very great shame about the Gaping Dragon, but thank you for watching, and ta-ta for now.